Star States and the Bluegrass State. This is your two dads.
Your two dads.
Two real dads giving you the real news. As trustworthy as any other news source that you will find out there, we are your two dads. Hello.
I think it's not even in dispute that we are equally trustworthy as every other major media platform that reports the news.
I mean,
yes. As to my knowledge,
maybe
this
more
assertion not even been challenged. They won't even challenge us when we say
they won't even challenge us because they know it's the truth. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. It is cold in Texas. At least it's cold to me. It is my wife's birthday. So obviously, as I got up this morning, start getting the kids ready to get them to school, get ready for the show, working on my website a little bit, getting the kids to get ready to go to school right on time. My wife was like, how about we go to Starbucks? And I was like, okay, let's do that. And then I'm like, oh boy. Oh my God, get back in time.
That's all right.
I didn't even have time to text you.
Your wife's birthday always trumps this show, and I'm always understanding on that. You know, I always am, because this show is just a fun little conversation between you guys. Should really just call each other was one of our first comments that we got for the show. And it was the greatest comment ever.
I know.
So that's good. That's good that your wife's birthday today. I got a question though. I think this is going to be humorous. This is going to be humorous for those of you that we call Yankees. How you said it's cold in Texas this morning. What's the temperature?
I don't know. Probably like 48. It's probably like very reasonably not cold. but to me, it's abhorrently freezing.
It got down to the middle 30s here in Kentucky last night, but we're not done. It'll get down into the negative numbers most years.
So David's saying the screen's black. I don't know what that's about. I updated the key. It seems like it's live. So hope it's not. Hope the screen's not black forever. Maybe it'll tune up. I don't know. Oh no, we're live. We're on live. There we go. We're on Rumble. All right. Good morning, everybody. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe. This is rumble.com/JJW. I'm JJ. That's Deacon. We are your two dads, and we meet every single morning, Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning by somebody's clock. And we drink coffee and talk about the news and amazing, interesting stuff. Deke, did you see the trailer? We're going to watch the trailer later.
I did not watch it. No, I did not.
Oh my God. It's been so long since I've been excited for anything on TV. And so I'm looking forward to this. I hope that Amazon doesn't drop the ball again.
Yeah, they don't have it. They have zero history of doing that at all. Yeah, none that I can think of. I mean, off the top of my head here real quick.
Right. Let's get the chat wizard up. So that's going to go. Okay. Deke, before we can talk about the scintillating news about these Republican debates, we really should have some music appreciation. So if you don't mind, take us on a tour.
Absolutely. If you will look above JJ's head, floating there is all those little black and white scribbles. If you will put your phone to that, it will take you magically to our Discord server, where fun and good times are always to be had, and funny memes most of the time. So go over there to Deke's playlist. I actually have been working on the Spotify playlist. I have. All right. It's going to be on my radio station account, but I don't care. It's going to be there, and we'll be able to link it up to a playlist. But you can go there and see the other playlists on my radio station account. I really don't care. So I'm working on that. So this week, sometimes I try to do a theme, and last week and this week we've been doing one-hit wonders. These guys are almost true one-hit wonders again. You may remember this song. But this band has a very interesting life. The band is called the Meat Puppets, and the song is Backwater. Do you remember Backwater? Something never changed.
I'm gonna have to check.
Yeah, you will remember this song.
Let me see this if I remember this. that's the way a lot of these go. Is that I don't know the names, but then I hear a couple bars and I'm like, oh yeah.
So Backwater by the Meat Puppets, it was their biggest hit.
yeah.
Yeah, you remember it now, don't you? Just the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man, that says 97, 98 to me. What year was that?
I think you might be right. I think it might have been about 97, 98, 96,
Oh yeah.
97, 98. So let me tell you about the Meat Puppets. This was their biggest hit, reaching number 2 on the mainstream charts. They had 2 more songs that did okay in the U.S. I think one song that broke the top 20, one that broke the top 40. Other than that, the Meat Puppets were never really known other than this song. It's very unfortunate because the Meat Puppets formed in 1980. All right. They've been around since 1980 in Arizona. Shit. A long time. This song, they had been around for almost 20 years before they got popular. And the reason now listen to this. That's really, this is serious. They were around for almost 20 years before they got
what
popular.
They say? Try again. Keep trying.
No. It's all about luck. Sometimes it's all about luck.
Yeah.
They played a show and there was a guy in the audience watching the band that thought, I love this band. I want them to open up for me. This guy's name was Kurt Cobain. And so Kurt Cobain was a huge Meat Puppets fan, and he asked them to open up for him. And he ended up covering several Meat Puppets songs. 3 that are on the MTV Unplugged Nirvana album, the legendary MTV Unplugged album.
Really?
3 of those songs are Meat Puppets covers, including probably one of the greatest Nirvana songs of all time. It's a cover of a Meat Puppets song called Lake of Fire. And the song Lake of Fire by Nirvana off the Unplugged album is probably the epitome of Nirvana songs in in my opinion, at least. That's the pinnacle. And it's a freaking Meat Puppets cover. So Nirvana and Kurt Cobain are the reason that Meat Puppets, that everybody kind of got to hear the Meat Puppets, because he was a fan and pushed them out.
Do you think that stings just a little bit? Because I mean, I don't mean to diss anybody or anything, but you're jamming and you get picked up by a big star and you're like, oh, this is amazing. And then like he plays 3 of your songs and they're more popular and more accepted by the audience than they were by you.
Hey man, every time that song gets played by someone, I make money. I don't care if Bob Dylan said one time in an interview, he said, when I heard Jimi Hendrix's version of All Along the Watchtower, I realized I wrote that for him. Basically, he started playing Jimi Hendrix's version because it was a better version than the one he wrote. So sometimes it does take somebody to shake it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I've heard this song by Kurt, Lake of Fire, so many times.
It's one of the best Nirvana songs of all time, in my opinion. Amazing. And I like a lot of Nirvana songs.
All right, Meat Puppets. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Can you make this stuff go away? Because I don't know how to do it yet. This stuff down here, I don't know what's going on down there.
I got it. Did it not go away for you?
Okay, it's going. All right. Well, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today's episode title: Four Republicans. Fourth debate. There's going to be 0 winners. And we also have we're going to cover Fallout on Prime trailer. And I think we have some other, all the news this morning Deke found, because I was like running around trying to be like, yeah, of course we can go to Starbucks this morning, dear. Of course we can.
If this is the crappiest show ever, blame me.
No way. No. Or if it's the best, he gets all the credit.
No.
Now I lost.
I think I put in every article this morning.
I think you did too.
I got my stuff done early yesterday. So I got my stuff done for this morning, done yesterday. So I had
Deke is amazing. Deke is the MVP of this show for real. All right. So the Republicans, I guess, what's it? Ronna McDaniel. She's like in charge of this thing. The Republicans have announced that they are going to have a fourth debate. I'm sure, to draw the eyes of millions and millions of Americans. I don't even know how people can not be captivated by Chris Christie running his mouth and Ron DeSantis. You guys are getting bored with me just describing it.
Well, I was thinking, man, when you could be mesmerized by watching Chris Christie, by watching his jowls vibrate, jiggle while he talks. You could be like,
we're not allowed to make fun of how fat and round he is.
I'm sorry.
Ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I'm not making fun of how fat and round he is. We're not. His damn jowls. He's got
his jowls. Jowls, not related to his fat. And we're not talking about his impression of donut holes or anything like that. Four Republicans qualify for a fourth presidential debate. And you'll see it's Chris Christie and Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy. And then I think Nikki Haley is still in this thing.
Okay. Yeah, Nikki Haley. That's right.
I watched the first debate.
Not putting her picture up there,
right? CNN. What's up with the misogyny and the not supporting women? CNN.
What the hell? She should have just been her picture with 3 little dots for them.
Right.
Bunch of patriarchal assholes.
So, what do you know about the remaining Republicans? Like top of your head, and because I can give you what I think about each of them, but I don't have too many thoughts of them. So, like off the top of your head, we'll start with Nikki Haley. She's not on screen. What do you know about Nikki Haley?
0.
Yeah, I think she's a governor, and
I really don't know anything. I would have to Google her.
Yeah, I think she wants to go to war with like everybody. She definitely is in support of war.
So she's number 4 on the list, only because I don't know. All right.
Yeah. And then there's Chris Christie.
Chris Christie would be number 3 on my personal list because I just don't trust him.
And no way.
And I just don't trust him. I think he's set off too many red flags when I've seen him speak in my personal mind. So I just don't trust him.
So it seems like, Nikki Haley aside, because I really don't know that much about her. It seems like each of these people have some qualities of a person that I might consider voting for, right? For instance, Vivek Ramaswamy is likable, but the dude is big pharma, and he seems totally artificial, like very polished. But
he's only likable because of what you just said. He's only likable because he's been programmed and polished and told exactly what to say, how to say it, how to put the inflection at the end of the damn sentence, and how to point out all.
Right. He has stage presence. He has great stage presence.
He doesn't have, other than being owned by the pharmaceutical companies, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. So he's number 2 on my list. He's above.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then and you have Ron DeSantis, who's by all accounts somewhere between excellent and maybe merely competent administrator, because all of the credit, all of the wins in Florida could be attributed to the state legislature. So he might be a great governor, or he might be merely competent and have a good legislature. So, but what he doesn't have is great instincts for presentation, because his campaign has been attacking all kinds of people on the right. There was this whole lifts in his boots thing or whatever, and he just comes across as really stiff and kind of autistic. And then there's Chris Christie, and I honestly can't think of one redeemable quality of Chris Christie, because he's merely angry and like hateful, and as you say, jowly. I'm going to say,
Yeah.
I'm going to say superfluous. Maybe there's some extra Chris Christie.
I'm not.
He's not a leader. He's not a leader. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's not a leader.
And then there's Nikki Haley, which, and until I'm proven otherwise, I'm just going to say she's some sort of a warmonger, because I know that I've read that she's, and also Chris Christie is very, very in support of like killing people in the Ukraine war and stuff like that. So like the at least two of these people are like establishment deep state. And anyway, I like none of this is compelling enough for me to be like, I'm going to show up to the ballot box for these guys. Not one of them.
Okay, so let's say you are part of the Illuminati.
Yeah. Oh,
let's say no. I won't say that. Let's say you're one of the puppet masters. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And you already know which one of these four is going to be that person. You're just giving this illusion, this so-called conspiracy theory illusion to the American people that they actually have a choice, but you already know which one. Who is it?
Of these four?
Of these four against Donald Trump.
I think the DeSantis brand has been irreparably damaged. I think that Chris Christie has zero public appeal, perhaps even within New Jersey. I think he has no appeal. I don't know how he keeps getting reelected. I have to think that either Vivek Ramaswamy or Nikki Haley is most compatible with the deep state, even though Vivek Ramaswamy, is sending out these messages of being anti-establishment and dismantling the deep state and whatnot.
But those two are also attractive to the younger voter because Vivek is not a white man and Nikki Haley is not a white man.
Right.
So unfortunately, that's the society that we live in. I'm not even being facetious or anything when I say that, but they do. If I was trying to think on that level, that would attract a percentage of younger voters to more than it would be, more than Chris Christie and Ron DeSantis does.
The thing about young voters is that they very reliably don't show up. They never show up. They're always there for the polls in terms of like, are you going to vote and say, yeah, totally, I'll support this guy. And then every single election, without fail, they just don't wake up and go vote. So it's like, it's appealing to the, like young people, you're important. You can make a difference in the world. Yeah. Just get out of bed. Clean your room while you're at it.
All right. I got you one here that you're going to like, JJ. So my buddy over here in the next county over here in Kentucky, James Comer is he's still alive. The Biden hit squad has not gotten him yet, which is very surprising to me. But House Republicans are ramping up their impeachment inquiry and are touting subpoenaed financial records that show President Biden received monthly payments from a business account for his son, Hunter Biden, in between his term as vice president and president. But Hunter Biden's attorney is pushing back at the House GOP, saying that the monthly $1,380 transfers were made to repay his father for a truck payment that Hunter Biden was unable to finance himself. James Comer.
Unable to finance? Yeah. This dude brought like millions of dollars back from China. What do you mean he isn't able to finance?
$30,000. Yep. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, Republican from Kentucky, who is a county over, is leading the impeachment probe into the Biden-based, in part by his family's foreign business dealings. He's revealed a bunch of stuff. This wasn't a payment from Hunter Biden's personal account, but an account for his corporation that received payments from China and other shady corners of the world, Comer said in a video alongside the release of the subpoenaed records. The Hill is told that the committee is aware of 3 monthly payments of $1,380 each to Joe Biden from the Owasco PC account in 2018, 3 times after Biden's vice president and blah, 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 blah.
Good grief, dude.
Joe Biden and the
Are we
White House can't continue to claim he wasn't involved in his son's shady businesses now, Steve Scalise said on X.
are we ever going to be able to like actually? I mean, are we just gonna just like mire through the quagmire of obviously Biden is corrupt and his entire family is corrupt and they've been corrupt forever? Are we just gonna we're not gonna do anything about it? We're just gonna slog through it until the next election.
Think about society, how society is, because you've got a small portion of one side that is like, this is bullshit. Look at this. And then the other portion of that side is like, yeah, that's bullshit, but I don't care. I've got bills to pay and I got shit to do. And then you've got the whole other side that's like, la, la, la,
Right.
la, la.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that if I was the Biden crime family trying to be the devil's advocate here, and if I was the Biden crime family, I'd be like relying on that. Half this,
I mean,
our half is not even going to listen to them. Half of them is going to be like, they don't care because they've got other shit to worry about. And then the other half is just going to scream and yell like a bunch of loud monkeys and throw feces. And that's about all that's going to happen. They're going to get tired and something else is going to happen. The Super Bowl is going to happen, or big basketball tournament, or some bullshit sporting bread and circuses are going to happen. And then people are going to forget about it. And then somebody's going to bring it up again. And then they're going to say something and they're going to forget about it. Thank God for James Comer, who keeps going. He's continuing with the megaphone, yelling this stuff at the top of his lungs, while everybody else is like, oh, man, I've got a dinner date at 6:00. I can't keep sitting here listening to this guy. So,
I mean, at least Comer's message is clear, right? And like it's clear and it's simple. Biden is corrupt. Here's more evidence. Here's more evidence. Here's more evidence.
He keeps giving it out. He's been doing this for like
and then the media is like, we don't see anything. No, we don't see anything. There's no evidence whatsoever. I have yet to see unsubstantiated reports.
Did you see the baby koala at that zoo in Cincinnati? It was really cool. Let's send a camera crew there.
Yeah. So.
All right. Yeah. What else do I got here?
You got this Supreme Court story. Who's Sacklers? What's going on here?
This one is a big one, JJ. This one's kind of, and these people have a really good point, in my opinion. So the Supreme Court considers this $6 billion bill that shields the Sacklers. Who are the Sacklers, you ask? In 2022, the family agreed to pay $6 billion to address opioid addiction after admitting its role in selling Oxycontin, a drug known to be addictive and widely misused. The Sackler family owns which pharmaceutical company?
Purdue Pharma?
Yeah, Purdue Pharma. The Sackler family made millions creating and distributing Oxycontin through Purdue Pharma. The painkiller proved to be highly addictive. And the Supreme Court is basically okay. So let me just read this. In the years since, they've been blamed by thousands of families for wrongly and aggressively marketing Oxycontin and minimizing its potential hazards. Scores of families want the Supreme Court to overturn the deal and leave the Sacklers exposed to thousands of lawsuits. Right now, they are immune to any lawsuits because of this deals and shit that they've made. Outside the court on Monday, protesters held signs reading "Deadliest white-collar criminals in the Sackler cartel. My dead son does not release the Sacklers." But other families impacted by the drug support the deal. Their position was reflected by the justices who asked why the government was seeking to overturn the agreement. Justice Keegan, a liberal, noted that the deal had overwhelming support among people that have no love for the Sacklers. And conservatives, Thomas and Kavanaugh, asked whether it was appropriate to overturn a plan that would ensure prompt payment for families of victims. And then it goes through talking about all these different families in this article that's been fighting because their loved ones have died from opioids. And this family knew the potential risks. They knew that it was highly addictive. They sent it out anyway, but they were granted protection from companies. They were granted protection. While Purdue filed for bankruptcy in 2019, the Sacklers did not. However, they were granted protection usually preserved for companies faced with mass injury claims after they have filed for bankruptcy. So the company filed for bankruptcy, the family did not, but the family got the overlaying umbrella of protection from the bankruptcy, where company once you file for bankruptcy, you can't sue and whatnot.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know a whole lot of the details of the structure of this organization, but normally when you have, especially like you're not talking a mom and pop business, you're talking an actual enterprise, an actual like C-class company. Usually the ownership of these companies is, these companies are structured in such a way as to not expose the owners directly to liability, right? So like Purdue Pharma, yeah, of course they do, because you don't want to like start a business and you put all your assets on the line, but you don't want them to take your house if you fail, right? Like, so the people structure these companies to insulate the owners from necessarily. Well, why is that funny? I don't know why that's funny.
I'm not laughing at you. I was looking up the Sackler family, and I was laughing at the sentence that I read. I thought you would get a kick.
Okay. We could show that in a second, I guess. So apparently, the company restructured, and part of a deal was to pay out some people that had like suits against them. So if the government wants to revoke the deal that protects the members of the family from the bankruptcy, the direct consequence would be that the deal is invalid, and so therefore they don't have to immediately pay out their victims, which they would. You would stop payment immediately, be like, well, look, we're not going to pay. The deal's been turned over, so we're going to stop this until pending further litigation. So, I mean, I don't know, but obviously opioids, I mean, bad. Oxy. So many people have been like hooked on Oxy. You know what I mean? So it's not good.
Dude, my mom died from opioids.
Oh, really?
Plain and simple, period. It's the reason she's dead. I used to take her up to those legal damn drug dealers that we called doctors. They had pain management centers. She would go in, she'd wheel out 5 minutes later. All they do is check her name. She's here. Here's your drugs. We'll see you next month. If you don't show up next month, you get taken off the list. It's so hard to get back on. So it was a nightmare when my mom had to go up there and she had an appointment. She had an appointment at freaking 7 o'clock in the morning. My ass had to miss work to take her up there. Because if she missed that appointment, she was out. It was like it was legal drug dealing. I saw it with my own eyes.
Right.
I saw what it did to my mother. She would be here. She asked me a million times when she was alive, Andrew, would you just try to get me some marijuana? Try to get me some marijuana. If I could have went to the store and bought her marijuana instead of giving her those damn pills, she would still be here. She would still be here. This is what I found about the Sackler family on Wikipedia. You can all look it up on Wikipedia. This is in the first paragraph. The last sentence of the first paragraph says, they have been described as the most evil family in America and the worst drug dealers in history.
Oh, wow.
The next paragraph says, the Sackler family has been profiled in various media, including the documentary Crime of the Century on HBO, the book Empire of Pain by Patrick Keefe, in 2021 Hulu miniseries Dope Sick, in 2022 Oscar-nominated documentary All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, and the 2023 Netflix miniseries Painkiller. Jesus Christ.
Holy Moses. Yeah. You're an asshole if you have a whole industry of people at different studios making stories about how big an asshole you are. Wow. That's like six tips. I mean, how many did you name right there? That was a bunch. That was enormous. Holy crap.
Let me see. Okay, so I wanted to point this out just to bring this to all of your attention here. That Joe Biden is spending most of the week raising money with a couple of his friends. You see his friends' names there?
Yeah, James Taylor.
We and Steven Spielberg. I still think Steven Spielberg, we're always like, he was the greatest director. And he did direct a bunch of good movies, but you go back and watch those movies now and you're just like, Me at least, I'm just like, yeah, it's a good movie, but it could be improved. I can see the flaws, now. But
I
whatever.
mean,
That's just
yeah. No, there's some Spielberg
I've
movies I
never
like and
thought
some that
he
I
was
don't
the
care about.
greatest. I like some of his movies, but I
His
never thought he was
his
the greatest
thing his thing that was successful was making movies about teenage boys having an adventure. That was his whole thing. And then you go outside of that, and then you're just like, okay, yeah, he's still. He's got a hand in Indiana Jones when it was good. Hey, did you watch
So I got
Battle of
one.
Destiny?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Is it great?
That's not great, but it's all right. I thought it was okay.
Okay, I haven't seen it. It's on. I think it's on Disney Plus now.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, I got one more political type story for you here, JJ. Did you hear this story? This former career U.S. diplomat has been charged with secretly spying for Cuba intelligence for decades.
Wow, I did not know that Cuba had an intelligence agency.
This man was charged with serving as a secret agent for communist Cuba going back decades in what prosecutors portrayed as one of the most brazen and long-running betrayals in the history of U.S. Foreign Service. Manuel Roca wept as he sat handcuffed in Miami federal court on charges that he engaged in clandestine activity on Cuba's behalf since at least 1981, the year he joined the U.S. Foreign Service, including a meeting by the Cuba. Basically, this guy got a nice job where he could pass along, and it was perfect. It was perfect.
Oh, wow.
He may have it provides a vivid case study of what American officials say are longstanding efforts by Cuba and its notoriously sophisticated intelligence services to target U.S. government officials who can be flipped. Notoriously sophisticated intelligence.
Seriously?
But, it's very well. This action exposes one of the highest reaching and longest lasting infiltrations of the U.S. government by a foreign agent, Merrick Garland said in a statement. To betray that trust by falsely pledging loyalty to the United States, blah, 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 is really bad. The 73-year-old Roca, whose 2-decade career as a U.S. diplomat included top posts in Bolivia, Argentina, and the U.S., interest in Havana, the U.S. interest in Havana, was arrested by the FBI on Friday.
So this guy, was he born in the United States?
I don't know.
Manuel Roca? Where was he born? Born in Colombia. It's almost like maybe if we had, I'm not saying a rule or a law necessarily, maybe a policy of not, say, allowing people who are born outside of the United States to become the highest levels of government officials we could have. Maybe that would be like, I think it'd probably be racist to have like a policy like that in place. Don't you think that would probably be racist?
I think you're racist just for thinking that, JJ. So,
well, I did not. I honestly thought Cuba had like only cars from 1950s, and when I'm not joking around. Like, I guess I've talked to people before, and like the cars, when they run out of gas, they would just like leave the car because you couldn't buy gas. This is way back in. So they have like only old cars, and they have cigars.
50 years ago, that's how it was.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know what it's like now. People are still trying to so whatever.
I got some that are real quick here. I just wanted to poke out the hypocrisy on this one. This COP 28 president says there's no science in fossil fuel phase out. This guy is the United Arab Emirates climate envoy and CEO of state oil firm ADNOC. Yeah. He made these comments in the end of November during this online discussion that there's no science. The science is clear. The 1.5 degree limit is only, he's talking about there's no science in this fossil fuel crap, that the science is basically pointing out that's very clear. And I just wanted to point out, this is a big long article. I'm not going through all this crap.
Right.
I just wanted to point out that this is basically in the 60s when doctors, 4 out of 5 doctors agree that Pall Mall cigarettes are good for your health.
So you're saying that this guy's not trustworthy? You're saying
I'm not saying that.
All right. Okay.
I'm going to let you make your own assumptions.
Because I'm looking at this and it says a UN report last month recommended a near total phase out of coal production by 2040 and 3/4 reduction in oil and gas by 2050 compared to 2020 levels. And then I'm like, well, who makes that? Who makes that report? Oh, well, that report comes from a UN climate science panel. And then I say, oh, okay, well, how do we elect those guys? Who's on that panel? Who are these people that are making all the decisions for the planet? And what voice do I get in this whole matter? I honestly, I don't trust this guy. He's from Abu Dhabi and he has a vested interest. And I also don't trust the people that he's opposing either. So I don't trust any of these people.
All right, I got you on, JJ.
All right. We still have to do a trailer. Don't forget, we got a trailer to watch. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I've got you a video to watch. We got 20 minutes. I got you a video to watch right here.
All right.
This video.
What is this?
These are, this is a video of this neighborhood. You see these houses right there. You see that house that's lit up?
Yeah.
There's a house right here that's dark. And you can see there's emergency vehicles and cops and stuff.
Okay.
And there's a cop right here. See him standing right here. They're fixing to send the SWAT team into this house.
Okay. Okay. It's like an arrest warrant or something, like serving a warrant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, let me get this. Let me hang on. Let me show you this other video because this other video is better.
Okay.
It's clear.
I love true crime and cop stuff. My wife and I are watching cop shows all the time. Or like, detective shows, mystery, like real true crime stuff. We watch that stuff all the time. So I'm into this. So show me serving a warrant. Here we go.
Serving a warrant. The SWAT team is ready, fixing to go into the house.
Right.
This
Be
is
safe,
Arlington,
guys.
Virginia the other day.
Sometimes these guys have guns, so watch out. Oh! That's not normal. It's not normal. That guy's house just blew up. Holy shit. That's going to make the holidays rough.
Let's watch that again.
That house just fell apart. You know what I mean? Like, it just completely collapsed. He must have turned the gas on or something. I mean, like, how would you...
That was definitely set up. That was definitely set up to explode. So let's go back to the story.
Holy Moses.
Home exploded in Arlington, Virginia Monday night and rocked the neighborhood with a powerful blast after police say a suspect fired a flare gun into the neighborhood dozens of times. Stunning video shows a home exploding into flames and collapsing as debris flies more than 2 stories into the air. The blast occurred as police investigated someone shooting flares into a residential area. 3 officers received minor injuries, but were not taken to the hospital.
This is not what I thought it was. I thought they were serving a warrant on this guy. This is just some asshole rolling around shooting flares at houses.
That's what I was told that it was.
Did anybody get hurt? This is awful.
The suspect, whose name was not immediately released, was still unaccounted for. Police received reports of a man firing a flare gun from a home in the blah, blah, blah. The suspect fired a flare gun 30 to 40 times. Officers tried to execute a search warrant shortly before 8:30. They're trying to execute a search warrant. The suspect allegedly fired multiple rounds from what is believed to be a firearm, according to authorities. Police obtained a search warrant from the home and tried to make contact with the suspect by telephone and loudspeakers, but he remained inside without responding. Police vehicles could be seen outside the brick house. The blast suddenly erupts and blows away the front porch. The roof flies, blah, blah, blah. Neighbors felt the blast, heard the blast.
Wow, that's nuts, dude. That's crazy. First of all, how do you get a 30-round flare gun? Did he reload this thing again and again and again?
Sure, probably.
That's nuts.
I don't know. It's almost like that. That was almost like the damn house was filled with gas, and he shot a flare gun into the.
That's what it seemed like.
Explosion was gas. It was almost like a gas. It come from inside because you could see.
It exploded and then collapsed. So I'm thinking. That to me that looks like. Open the oven, turn on the gas, you know what I mean, and let that run for like 10 minutes, and then shoot into that. That's crazy.
Okay, in your two dads nature news today, and then we'll go to
aminals. We all love
animals.
aminals.
Nature, you scary. Minnesota and Wisconsin, oofta. Wildlife officials capture hundreds of invasive carp in the Mississippi River. So this is bad, and I will explain to you why this is bad. Wildlife officials have captured hundreds of invasive carp in the Mississippi River near Timplaula, Wisconsin. Gosh, that one got me. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources announced Friday that officials caught 296 silver carp and 23 grass carp and 4 bighead carp. Now, the bighead grass and silver are all with this invasive carp that have invaded. What happened was, JJ, is that these carp that jump out of the water and they get big.
Right.
My uncle carries a baseball bat in his boat because they will jump out of the water and hit you and hurt you. These carp were introduced in southern fish ponds down south as a way to eat algae and keep the fish ponds cleaned and whatnot. And that's how they were introduced. And they're an Asian carp, and they were brought over to feed off of the algae and whatnot that is in the fish ponds. And then it flooded and they got out of the fish ponds and they got into the Mississippi River and they traveled up the river, and they eventually up the Mississippi River, they took a right turn and come up the Ohio, and then they took another right turn and come down into Kentucky Lake where I live. And Kentucky Lake, we used to, when we would go catfishing, me and my dad would go out and he would take this throw net, and he would, early in the morning before we would fish in the dark, he would take the net and throw it out and then reel it in. And he would have hundreds of these little bait fish called shad. They were everywhere. They swam in schools of thousands.
Okay.
They were everywhere. You would see them everywhere, thousands of shad everywhere. And he'd throw them out there, and we'd get hundreds of these shads and we would make bait out of them for the catfish. There's not any left in Kentucky Lake.
None.
Not any left. None. The Asian carp have eat up everything that they ate. So they completely gone now. Like very, very, very rare that you would see any shad. There used to be by the millions in our lake. And the carp has completely eradicated. We lost fishing tournaments, bass fishing tournaments. We're not going to come to our Kentucky Lake anymore because of the carp and whatnot. So that's
how do you get rid of carp if they're an invasive species? How do you get rid of them?
Very hard. They've given incentives to fishermen. They've told them, hey, get them, throw them on the shore. If you bring them to these pounds. There's been people that has started up companies here in Western Kentucky that process these Asian carp and send it to Asia, to China, to Japan and whatnot, because it's a delicacy over there. We won't eat it over here, but they eat it over there. So they do that, and they've sent these. There's a couple of companies that do that now around here. And these Asian carp is just a very bad invasive species for the natural habitat. And it's when I saw this story, I thought, man, that's sad. They've gotten all the way up to Wisconsin. We have this multi-million-dollar bubble shield that's underneath the water to try to keep them out of this one area. It's a sound bubble shield. It uses sound underneath the water and bubbles, and it keeps the shad from coming up into this one particular lake.
Otherwise you won't have any shad anymore.
Or other any other type of fish that the Asian carp eats what they eat. You won't have those fish won't have any won't have anything to eat because the shad's this big. The Asian carp can get
and it just gulps a bunch of them up too.
It just eats everything.
Wow,
so
it's
really sad.
There's some other invasive species of like Asian stuff that they keep bringing stuff over here. People like, I don't know who's doing this or how, but like there's a lot of invasive species that are making it over here. And I heard Tim talking about something. Yeah,
you ever seen kudzu vine?
No,
it's everywhere. Some of the kudzu vine is everywhere around here.
We have every year or so we keep having this expansion of these Asian killer wasps or whatever, the murder hornets. You ever heard about those? Yeah. So
you ever seen an area like this that's completely covered up in vines?
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we've got areas over here that are just completely, you just drive through and just trees, everything is completely covered up with these kudzu vines.
Wow. So that's from Asia too.
Yeah, that was brought over here to America.
Native
That's
to.
not a native. It's not a native to North America. All right, so let's get to yours, JJ.
You had a school story. You had a story about kids too.
Yeah. That's just we can.
You want to roll on that? All right.
Yeah, we'll roll on that.
All right. So a couple of days ago, I think was it Monday? Maybe it was Friday. I think it was Friday. I said, hey, they Amazon on Prime. Asian ladybug, says Dave. Look at this. Dave says, you know what? He also said this. Where's my here we go. Look at this, Deke. He said, you ever seen a meth lab blow up? So what if that house?
You know what? That's a good point. He makes a good point. Yeah. That very well could have been a meth lab, a big meth lab that was down there or something. Yeah. There was a meth lab that blew up in a couple of counties over several years ago in this house, and it set off the alarms at the convenience stores that were like 10 miles away.
Yeah,
it
really?
Set off their alarms because the explosion was so boom.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a good point. Asian ladybugs.
I've never seen an Asian ladybug.
Well, I probably. Oh my God!
They
are everywhere in our studio right now. Everywhere. It's just a ladybug.
Oh, okay. Those are from Asia.
Man, look,
they just look like ladybugs.
I was just noticing. I mean, they're everywhere. I get them by the. I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. I get them by the probably. I probably will have almost 1,000 in this radio station by the end of the year. Look, I was looking at my. Hang on, let me see if I can get it up to the camera here.
So I see that traditional ladybug is bright red with black dots, and then these Asian ones are kind of orange and not as vivid. So you got one right there. Yeah, you can just. Yeah, that's better than a stink bug though. Did you get stink bugs in there during the spring?
Yes. Yeah, during the spring, they've gotten the stink bug is one of those other bugs, an invasive bug that was never here as a kid. This is all that's left of my good honey. The ladybug can stay up there. Have you ever been bitten by a ladybug?
No, never. I didn't even know they could bite.
Yep, they sure can.
I had no idea.
Ladybugs can bite you in your skin. Yes, absolutely. I've been bitten a couple of times. One time I was sitting here. It was at this radio station. I was sitting here and I felt something pinch really hard on my stomach, right by my belly button. I was like, ow! And I looked down, and on the metal part of my belt that was hitting my skin was a damn ladybug. It had bit me because I had leaned over and I was squishing it, and it had bit me.
So
somebody tried to bite me. I'd try to squish it through.
Dave says the Asian ladybugs are the biters.
Yeah, it bit me.
Let's see. How do we get here? Put this back. There you go. He says the Asian ones are the biters.
Yeah, okay. Straight up. I've been bit a couple of times by a ladybug. They just pinch. They just pinch real quick. You're like, ow! What is that?
All right,
not a big deal.
All right, guys, it's time. It's time to watch the Fallout trailer. Now, this is the part of the show that's probably going to get like us taken down on YouTube because there's audio. But let me just see. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Subscribe on Rumble.
Gives a fuck.
Yeah, here we go. All right. Let me say this. Before we even start, one of the things I'm most excited about for this is that Fallout always has the best soundtrack on all of their games.
All their games.
I'm going to turn this off. Hide that. So here we go. This is from Fallout on Prime. Amazon, don't copyright strike me. That would be a dick move.
We're not even making money on this.
Right. No, we're just reacting. This is us reactoring. So Deke's going to watch and then we're going to react. Yep. Oh. Somebody on this show is clever. Ooh, look, you can see right there. It's Vault 33. I mean, I love this already. I've spent so many hours playing Fallout. I'm excited. Let's go.
I know that I've lived a relatively comfortable life.
Stop! Lucy!
Okay. There's a skull like right outside.
To go home. Vault dwellers are an endangered species.
Ooh.
Do not
Rad
think
roach.
You would be willing to do what it takes to survive up here. If you insist on staying, then you will have to adapt.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you have a vault dweller, you have like a Brotherhood of Steel guy.
A bright new sun will suddenly break through.
It looks kind of like Nuketown.
Unless I see it with you. I grabbed a moldy one.
Did you see that? He had one eyeball.
It's all choppy for me. I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
is
watch
it?
it.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Sounds fine, but all the videos are very choppy.
Well, that's not good. Oh. It looked like Walter Goggins' character was having a flashback, maybe before the boom boom, and then later he's all scarred and chewed up and ghoulish. So, oh, okay, I didn't know that was so choppy for everybody. Sorry, folks.
It might not have been for everybody, but it was for me. Hi, JJ, you're so big.
This is not okay. Here. Okay. Wow. Okay.
I didn't know that Michael Emerson was in it.
Is that the guy with the guy in at the campfire? Is that
Yeah,
Michael?
at the beginning, Michael Emerson. Yeah, he played Ben in Lost.
Yeah.
Ben.
Oh yeah, man, that was such a show. It was such a
And
show.
he was, yeah, fuck that show. That's one of those that I will never rewatch. I see it come up all the time. The fates are always, the movie gods are always like, Andy, look, here's Lost. You can watch the whole thing streaming now with no commercials. And I'm like,
Never. I don't ever want to see that again.
I'm never watching that show ever. I watched every bit
He
of that
was always
show. And
he was always very there's just some people that when they're on TV, they are magnetic. They just draw you.
You're right. Michael Emerson's got that. When he was Ben, you're like, oh my God, I hate this guy, but I want to see so much more of him.
Yeah.
He is so likably. You love to hate him. You're just like, oh, and then he's so caring. He's got that face that he can just
or
be so caring,
unassuming or non-threatening, and then he's like,
and then completely
extremely threatening.
Guy in the world. Yeah, he's a good actor.
So it looks like, so one of the things that I'm most excited about is Walter Goggins playing this. Whoever he's playing, and it looks to me like, I'm gonna put this back up. I have no idea how to do this. How do you run this damn thing? Rumble or restream? Like it says I'm sharing right now, but it's hiding. So I don't know. I don't know where the controls are. Anyway, I'm super excited about Walter Goggins. It looks like they have a female protagonist. That's the Vault Dweller. And then they have a Brotherhood of Steel guy. How'd you find that? Where was that at?
It's over in the Friends. It was up there in the Friends for some reason. I just clicked it and there it was.
It's over there.
Like,
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So and then this looks like it's early on, and then later on he's all scarred. So that's maybe you think
you can see the buildings in the background falling.
He's on a
horse.
Yeah. He normally plays like a lead, like a main supporting character. So I would imagine that he's playing probably a main supporting character, and then the Vault Dweller and the Brotherhood of Steel guy are going to be like Rey and what's his name, Finn from Star Wars, where they're like the kind of two protagonists. That's what I'm imagining. Looks exciting, looks fun. I love the like Fallout world, the ambiance. They got a little tumbleweed in there, so that you get a little bit of New Vegas, but it looks like it's on the beach and stuff like that. So they're trying to just really appeal to like hit all the high notes of Fallout. So that's coming in April. April 12th, I think, is currently scheduled for April 12th. It'll be on Prime, and almost certainly it'll be a weekly episode. So
what you're telling me is I need to get our book done before April so that we can tie it in with this Fallout post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, for sure.
People are going to be wanting to do.
Yeah, I mean, get cooking, Deke. All right. Oh, hey, I got a conference call any minute now. So, folks, Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's episode is going to be even better than this one.
Can we tell a joke real quick?
Yeah. Let's do jokes. Jokes.
What's the difference between an Indian and African elephant?
Oh, an Indian and an African elephant. I don't know. What's the difference?
One of them is an elephant, dude.
Oh, that's... All right. That's good. All right. Wow. Damn. All right. What did the ocean say to the beach, Deacon?
I don't know.
Nothing. It just waved.
Yeah, he didn't. He just waved.
Yes. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be another great day. I hope you have a good one. I lost the button for the outro thing. Don't know where it is. Oh, it's over here now. Okay, bye.
You can still hear us talking over this.
I think you can. Yeah. Now is when we dance, folks. Like and subscribe.